wear off when the atheist writer Richard Dawkins met the chief rabbi, Lord Sachs, this week at the BBC's Rethink Festival here in Media City. Here's just part of their discussion, chaired by Samira Ahmed, on the relationship between religion and morality. Richard Dawkins was asked if people need God in order to be good.
I think it is really unrealistic to suggest that we need religion in order to come to moral decisions, or that actually we, as a matter of fact, do use religion. As I look historically at the way our moral values have changed, they have changed hugely over the centuries, over the decades, within any given century. My point is that the moral zeitgeist, which we all of us in a society share, labels us as being, shall we say, early 21st century citizens, much more than it labels us as being religious or non-religious. There's far more in common between a liberal enlightened Jew and a liberal enlightened atheist today, morally speaking, than there is between either of us and somebody of 200 years ago or even 100 years ago.
Chief Rabbi.
Yeah, first of all, I want to agree with Richard that you do not have to be religious to be moral. I would never be party to such a claim. We know the people who saved lives, often at risk to their own, during the Holocaust. Some were religious, some were secular. I think the only thing they had in common is that they took for granted that they had to do what they had to do, because that's what a human being does. And I think that moral sense is common to all of us. It's tremendously important not to let people say you have to be religious to be moral. Secondly, though, I quoted in the book the evidence here, because Robert Putnam, the professor of sociology at Harvard, did all the research on this. And he came up with this extraordinary finding, as you know, that in America, it may not be true in Britain, although he tells me it is in Britain, that religious people are more likely to give to charity, more likely to do voluntary work, more likely to help a neighbor with housework, more likely to help somebody with a job, more likely to get involved in civic and voluntary associations and so on. And his finding was that religion is the predictor of all these things, of altruism, more than any other factor: age, income, educational level, or ethnicity. But he said, and I think very wisely, that in his view this has got nothing to do with religious beliefs and everything to do with the power of religion to create communities. In other words, Richard is right in saying that we may not need religion to know what to do, but it's that constant rehearsal in ritual, in prayer, and in community that encourages people to do what they know they ought to do.
This sounds dangerously like